All right, so I'm going to talk about something called a Boolean command. So if you open up this Rhino file, this Boolean command Rhino file, I'm going to start off by talking about Boolean Union. So I'm going to zoom in over here. So I'm going to zoom in on this very first one. And before I actually run the command, I want to take both of these squares and extrude them. I'm going to extrude the larger one. I'll make sure it's 12 inches tall. Make sure solid equals yes is turned on. Just type in 12, enter. And the smaller one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to make it 6 inches. And then I'm going to run the Boolean command, which is this icon right over here. It's the one that looks like two spheres. And when you hover over it, it just says Boolean Union. I'm going to click on that. Again, just look at my command line, select services or poly services to union. I'm going to select both of these and hit enter. I don't really notice that much of a difference. I might see like these extra lines that are going around here. But if I go into my ghosted mode, I can now see that the inside part is kind of disappeared almost. And now essentially this object is just one larger object. So I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to undo this really quick. Edit, undo. I'm going to stay in the ghosted mode. Again, just so I can see how this smaller square is intersecting with this larger one. And I can see that intersected area right here. And again, use Boolean Union. Select that square, or that one, that one. There we go. I just ran the Boolean command, and now I can see that that inside part has now disappeared. Essentially what it's doing, what the Boolean command is doing, is taking both of those objects where they intersect, and it's almost like it's melting them together, merging them together. I'm going to temporarily get rid of all of these like extra lines. So I'm going to select this new object, come over here to my properties, and way down here at the bottom where it says ISO curve density, I'm going to uncheck where it says show surface isocurves. So now it's just this object. I'm going to move it out of the way, just temporarily just move it out of the way. I just didn't want those curves to be in the way. One thing that I notice is if I look underneath, I still see part of the original curves that made up this object. All right, so I kind of want to get rid of the rest of them. So I'm going to type in a command called merge all faces. Just one command. Select this object, hit enter, and now it cleans it up. I'm going to go back into my shaded mode, and now I have this object. It's a brand new object that's now being Boolean unioned. I'm going to do the same thing with these here. So I'm going to take this larger square and just extrude it 12 inches. I'm going to take these smaller ones. I'll select both at the same time. And I'm going to extrude those up 6 inches. I'm going to leave one right where it is. I'm going to move the other one by typing in the move command. I'm going to snap from this endpoint, move it straight up to snap to this endpoint. And I'm going to use the Boolean Union command, select all 3 squares, all 3 boxes, and turn off the ISO curves. And I can see now I have a brand new object. But again, I can also see that it's keeping the original outlines of these squares, right? Even though it's now one brand new object. So I just want to, again, use the command merge all faces. Merge all faces. Select this, hit enter, and now it cleans it up. I can still see it down here, but that's only because, let me just move this out of the way. That was only because I was actually seeing the lines, my original curves, instead of the lines on the object. All right, and you don't always have to start off with an extruded object. So say, for example, I made a box that is, let's see, 2, enter, 12, enter, 12, enter. So it's 2 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. And I'm just going to copy this a couple times. I'm going to take the middle one, I'm going to rotate it. Rotate 2D. From here, 90 degrees. And then I'm going to move this, snapping from this endpoint to this endpoint. And again, this one I'm going to move it again from this endpoint to this endpoint. Now I can use the Boolean Union command to Boolean Union all of them. I'm going to type in merge all faces to clean it up. And I'm going to turn off the ISO curves. So now I have an object where I didn't have to start off with an extrusion. I just made up a series of boxes and arrange them so that I have something similar to this.